tech, tech, another tech. All of them are techs. But more importantly, guys, this is the third May and the third Skyla we're having. Okay, Raihan is forgivable. It's his second form. But what the heck? What's with the love for the old units? Come on, give us new sync pairs. Anyway, guys, are the 2.5-year anniversary sync pairs any good, or are they just trash or bait for what's about to come probably in the very near future? In this video, we're going to discuss just that. So with that said, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. You're in the perfect place for Pokemon Masters EX content. And that, strap on your seatbelts right now. We're going for a long ride. Let's do this. Yo, yo, yo! This is Solo, also known as SPL-gum, also known as Spatial-gum, also known as Grunt. The artist Team Skull Grunt. And this is Pokemon Masters EX. Guys, we finally have it. We finally have the data mine after waiting and waiting and waiting. And thing is, if you might be wondering, if you're watching this as my premiere, you might be wondering where the heck is my gem count video. Well, this is actually quite rare, this video coming out before my gem count. It's because Absol-utely is not yet done. And I could not do anything without Absol-utely's data mine. So, I appreciate the patience, and I only had like 2 hours of sleep. I'm actually glad that I'm able to record this video and finish this video because I felt really sleepy all day. Been working very hard for you guys because I'm going out as well tomorrow. So, appreciate all the love. Thank you. Welcome to all you new subs because I have seen a lot of you guys come in yesterday. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. And if you're not sub yet, you know, just come in. Join us. Join us. Join the SPL-gum community. And if you're not aware, I have the SPL-gum challenge happening right now where you can, you know, cool your 10 free pools. Use your sync pairs in Champion Stadium. In fact, description, rules and regulations or whatever is in the description. It's not yet too late to join. But in this video, we're going to discuss about them and how good / how they make a difference in the game. So, with that said, these are the release dates of these banners, guys. So, Anniversary May is coming on February 28th, ends on March 30. Anniversary Skyla, March 2 until March 30. And I might be covering Raihan, but it's March 4 until March 30. So everyone ends on March 30. Everyone is 2 days apart. And basically, every single banner we have right now, the new banners are going to end on February 27. So, if you are planning to scout for Renegade Cynthia, Lucas, Signasuit Cyrus, Signasuit Dawn, take note that they'll be gone as soon as May comes in. So, I'm going to probably share my thoughts also later as to should you rather scout for them or scout for these? But, you know, we got a lot of others, guys. It's not just these sync pairs. We also have this. These are the rerun banners. Unfortunately, most of these rerun banners require paid gems. So, first one is the select seasonal scout. I think A, B, C. I'm not sure. Maybe I think they're in order, but maybe, you know, swap them with each other if the dates are incorrect. But just keep in mind that these are select scouts. Select scouts meaning you use 3,000 paid gems. Normally, I think it's 3,000. And you get to do a random multi-pull, an 11 pull. After you do your select scout, whether you're lucky or not, you get to choose a 12 sync pair of your choice for free. So 3,000 paid gems for 12 sync pairs. You get to select your 12 sync pair in a random pool of sync pairs. Now, Absol-utely hasn't been able to data mine this. I think the scouted, scout pool of sync pairs cannot be revealed in the data mine or something, but at least we know that Fall Caitlyn, Summer Gloria, and Holiday Seabold are there. And good news, Holiday Seabold finally has a 6-star EX form. I've been looking forward to this. In fact, I'm actually considering making him 6-star EX just to reward him of his 2 years late 6-star EX form, but I'm gonna think about it. So we got Holiday Skyla, New Year Lance, and Fall Hilbert, still the one and only 6-star EXable Dark type striker. And the third one is Fall Morty, Summer Marnie, and New Year Lily. There might be more sync pairs in these select scouts, but these are the ones that are featured in the images, so just keep that in mind. And then we have March 6, a select Pokefair scout as well. Again, requires paid gems, so there's SYGNA Leon, there's Lear, and there's Cynthia. And now at March 10, this is now a non-paid banner. This is SYGNA, or rather Champion Iris, March 10 until March 23. And this one is a charming Pokefair scout, which I am going to discuss later. It's an interesting Pokefair scout. Non-paid gems featuring N, Steven, and Lance. So, Pokefair, and then the first three are select seasonal scouts. So seasonal scouts, 7% chance of getting a 5-star sync pair. Pokefairs, 10% chance of getting a 5-star sync pair. And speaking of which, also, all these three are Pokefair scouts. Now, good news, I guess, because instead of Master Fair, whether we get them 1% chance of obtaining them, at least we have a 2% chance of obtaining them instead of just a 1% chance. Now, for those who are asking, Leon, is he returning? Well, we do not have any update. It's not revealed in the data mine. It's not available in the data mine whether Leon will be rerunning or not. But keep in mind also that everything here and everything from the update only lasts or only is until March 14. In fact, I think that's the last available date of the new events. There's nothing revealed yet after March 14. So for our gem count tomorrow and for all these sync pairs, take note that we will be getting more sync pairs and probably more gems as well after March 14. And one more thing, ZYGARDE has been hinted in the game. Now, I think there's a leak or there's like a floating rumor somewhere that's gonna be paired up with SERENA or something like that. It's not confirmed. Don't fret. I prefer Sycamore than SERENA. Hopefully it's fake. Hopefully it's fake. It's not dragon type. It's ground. Let's hope it's fake. But people are getting much and much better at art. It's really believable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just forget about it, guys. But those are the upcoming sync pairs. Let's start with the main attraction, which is Anniversary May and LATIAS. If you see this image, congratulate yourselves. You have successfully obtained Anniversary May. It's true what they say. Time really flies when you're having fun. And she's a tech sync pair just like the others. Yes, LATIAS can Mega Evolve. And if LATIAS Mega Evolves, if she does not Mega Evolve yet, we got Added Insult, Psychic Freebie 9, and On a Roll 1 as the passive skills. Added Insult, the more the opponent's special attack and special defense are lowered, the stronger our attack will be. And the only attack we have is Mist Ball. It's a 3-move gauge attack, hits one single opponent, has a 50% chance of lowering the special attack of the opponent by 1. But she also gets a passive skill of Honor Roll 1, which basically makes your Miss Ball always lower the opponent's special attack stat. So don't worry, every single time you use Miss Ball, you're going to lower the opponent's special attack stat. Meanwhile, Psychic Freebie 9, when it has a Psychic Terrain, you'll have a free move next. All the time, when it's Psychic Terrain. Now you might be wondering, Psychic Wish, does it bring a Psychic Zone? And does Psychic Zone stack up with Psychic Terrain and so on and so forth? Well, sad thing, bad news, we do not get Psychic Zone. Psychic Wish brings in Psychic Terrain, and this is the only, or rather the second Psychic Terrain user, or rather sync pair that can bring in Psychic Terrain. Finally, we have another sync pair aside from Bianca who can bring in Psychic Terrain. So now you have two options, whether Bianca or Anniversary May to bring in Psychic Terrain. But the way to do it is really different. Psychic Terrain is a Pokemon move. Psychic Wish is a trainer move. And if you actually watch, or let me just quickly jump to the sync grid right now. The only way to refresh Psychic Terrain, we only get Psychic Wish MP Refresh 3 with Anniversary May at 3 out of 5. Meanwhile, Bianca gets Psychic Terrain MP Refresh. I'm not sure when, but it's much easier to get Bianca than Anniversary May. So keep that in mind as well, guys. And then we have X Special Attack All, which, you know, raises the special attack of all allied sync pairs. And Best Friends, you can only use this once, applies the move gauge acceleration, speeds up the move gauge, raises Anniversary May's defense and special defense +2, and maximizes your critical hit rate. Now, if you played through Victory Road, you should know how important critical hit rate is. So, it maximizes your critical hit rate, it increases your defense and special defense +2, and so on and so forth, guys. So that's Anniversary May. And once she Mega Evolves, the moves stay the same, but then her passive skill changes from Honor Roll 1 to Unexpected Benefit ×2. And this, basically what this does is that it's like double down. So instead of lowering the opponent's special attack by 1, it lowers the opponent's special attack by 2 instead. So that's it's kind of like an upgrade, a little upgrade, and then also her special attack goes up from 356 to 423, and unfortunately that's the only stat that goes up, which is kind of weird because normally there are 2 stats that go up or something. This is similar to Anniversary Steven, where only the speed stat went up. So yeah, that's basically Anniversary May. And if you notice, guys, passive skill added insult, the more the target's special attack and special defense are lowered. If you actually check her sync grid, which we are going to discuss here right now, there are no tiles for Anniversary May that can lower the opponent's special defense unless, you know, you bring in Mewtwo and you have tiles on Mewtwo or someone else. Bianca can also lower special defense. Bring in Palentine's Dawn, lower the opponent's special defense. So there's no way of lowering the opponent's special defense using Anniversary May. And if you want to do this, if you want to try and lower the opponent's special defense, you might want to give Lucky Skill Mind Games 2 to Anniversary May, which gives you a 30% chance of lowering the opponent's special defense by 1. I am not sure if this will pair up with her passive skill, Unexpected Benefit 2. I'm assuming this will not stack up with that one, but keep that in mind. The only way to lower the opponent's special defense using Anniversary May is by giving her a lucky skill, Mind Games 2, which is obtained, by the way, using the deluxe lucky cookies that we got from Legendary Gauntlet. That aside, she can maximize her critical hit rate on her own, so you can give her Critical Strike 2 or Superpowered 3 if you want to, so that you can, you know, maximize her critical hits. And so, going back to the sync grid, we have Dauntless and Stalwart at 1 out of 5. We have a 2 out of 5 an MP refresh for her trainer move Best Friends, which again raise her defense and special defense +2 and increases or speeds up the move gauge. You cannot raise your critical hit rate to above +3, so that's that. Moral support 4 and morale boost 4 when you use a trainer move. So basically X special attack all, Psychic Wish, or her trainer move Best Friends, you have a 50% chance of raising your special defense +1 or special attack stat +1 depending on which one moral boost or moral support 4 you get. Then weird immunity, if there's a psychic terrain active, status conditions cannot be inflicted on Anniversary May. And then 2 out of 5 you also get X special attack all, MP refresh 3. Meanwhile at 3 out of 5 you get her multipliers, which are attack move multipliers and sync move multipliers. For these attack move multipliers, we have Brain Teaser and Overpower, as well as a super effective up next with Super Sinker for the very first time you use a sync move in battle. So Brain Teaser for special defense, Overpower for lowered special attack. Meanwhile, you also get Devastation and Smarty Pants for 1 Devastation for special attack, Smarty Pants for special defense, and again, it's much harder to lower special defense for the opponent for Anniversary May rather than special attack. Then we also get Dismay 2, which lowers the special attack of all opponents at the start of the battle by 2. We got Psychic Wish MP refresh 3, again this is only available at 3 out of 5. And Psychic Wish Propulsion 9. So every single time you use Psychic Wish, you get to reduce your sync move countdown -1. Then that aside, you get 2 sync nuke tiles. And that's it. That is it for Anniversary May. Again, interesting sync pair. To share my thoughts, yes, finally we have another option aside from Bianca. Is she better than Bianca or not though? Bianca has stored power, which the higher her stats are, the stronger Bianca's stored power becomes. And Bianca's multiplier relies on the opponent's lowered special defense, which you can get by using Psychic. And probably, I think May is going to be much stronger than Bianca with these multipliers and stuff. And, you know, you don't need to use a move gauge with Psychic Freebie 9. My Discord mates have not yet done the damage calculation. So all these is by assumption and by, you know, looking at the data we have over here. Her sync move has a multiplier built in, which is the lower the opponent's special attack is, the stronger the sync move damage. And again, you can have Psychic Terrain. Psychic Terrain powers up your Psychic type attacks already. And Miss Ball, or her sync move, is a Psychic type attack, so that basically raises the damage already. Plus, if you get Devastation, it's another multiplier. If you get Smarty Pants, that's another multiplier. If you're able to get that super effective up next, that's also another multiplier. But then you have to build her either sync move or physical attack, or the normal attack, which is Brain Teaser and Overpower. What else? Yeah, pretty fast sync pair. The problem is if you want to maximize her, you have to use Psychic Terrain quite a lot of times. And there's no MP refresh until you get 3 out of 5. And, but you know, Psychic sync pairs are known to destroy the opponents as quickly as possible. In fact, If you have SYGNA, she can basically one-shot all opponents. So, do you need another psychic type? Or do you want to just stick to Bianca? Well, my comment here is, Miss Ball, at least you get to lower the opponent's special attack stat all the time. Bianca cannot reliably lower the opponent's special attack stat or special defense. There's always a chance. This one is a 100% chance of lowering the opponent's special attack stat. Maybe you will not use her for your sync move. Maybe you'll use your other psychic types. But that's that. And at least you get to attack the opponent quite fast and speedy with Anniversary May. That aside, does she bring anything interesting into the world of Pokemon Masters EX or world of Pasio? Aside from a new multiplier called Added Insult, Psychic Freebie, and Unexpected Benefit, honestly, nothing much. Nothing much. Does this sync pair excite me? A little bit, okay. Not if I were to rate this sync pair for an anniversary sync pair, guys, I'm gonna be honest. It's if on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, and 1 being the worst, this is somewhere close to a 6. I mean, we got so many psychic types already. We got Mewtwo, a free-to-play psychic type, very strong. We got Mew, also a free-to-play sync pair, very strong. After introducing Mewtwo, do you need any stronger psychic types? Yes, you got Leer. Yes, you got SYGNA. Do you need another psychic type? No. But you do you. At least we get a tech sync pair who can raise everyone's special attack. I mean, this is like a support sync pair by her own. Who ever heard of a tech sync pair who has X special attack all? I think this is the first. I'm not sure, guys, but at least we get to debuff the opponent. That's all I can say with this sync pair. Not really that thrilled about Anniversary Main. Aside from her awesome outfit, I guess, but for an anniversary sync pair, does this excite me? After seeing her grid, not really. Not really, guys. Not really. I was expecting a lot more, especially that they hype this sync pair over the others, but you know, scout for your faves. I'm just here to share my thoughts, each one. So that's my thoughts on Anniversary May, and that's my analysis. Let's move on to the next one, which is Anniversary Skyla and Tornadus. Tornadus Therian form, or however you pronounce that. So, when I think about a match with a fabulous trainer like you, it's like I'm walking on air. Congratulate yourself if you see this. Got Anniversary Skyla. Now, she only has a 1 attack, and those spiky things on Air Cutter mean that it's an AoE attack. It hits everyone. So it's a 2 move gauge attack, 95% accuracy if I'm not mistaken, or was it 85? So it lands critical hits more easily. Flying Wish. This is the sync pair that will power up your Anniversary Steven, your Lysander, your Blue, your Nate, your whatsoever. She also gets Mini Potion All, again a tech sync pair that's trying to be a support sync pair. And ready for takeoff, raises her Anniversary Skyla's special attack and critical hit rate +1, and raises the speed of everyone else's, including Skyla, by 2. Now we got a tech sync pair who can raise everyone's speed. Notable one being the Mask Royale. 2 uses of his trainer move can maximize everyone's speed stat. So I'm not too excited about the speed raising for everyone here. But we get excited. I should get excited with Flying Wish. Because finally, Anniversary Steven's sync move might finally be strong. I mean, his Dragon Ascent is already amazingly powerful, especially the more the stats are raised, the stronger he gets. But the sync move was always lacking for some reason. And with the introduction of Flying Wish, finally, we can power up Anniversary Steven's sync move damage. So that's something to be excited about. Her sync move, Heart Soaring Hurricane, powers up when the field is flying zone. And then, her passive skills are interesting. We got Staggering 2. Has a 30% chance of making the opponent flinch when you use an attack against it. And what attack do we have? Air Cutter. An AoE attack that has a very high chance of landing a critical hit, especially if your critical hit rate is raised. So you're not only landing critical hits often on the enemy, but you're also have a 30% chance of making everyone, or at least one of the opponents, or two of the opponents, flinch. And then Gobsmack 2, has a 30% chance of confusing the opponents, all the opponents, when you use Air Cutter against them. So not only are you making the opponents flinch, but you're also making them confused. And Aerial Acceleration 3, if the field is flying zone, your move gauge basically moves faster. So this is something very interesting. We finally get an alternative to, the AoE flincher we have right now is Lycia. Lycia with, I think it's Aggravation 1 for Twister. I'm not sure if it's Aggravation 2 or 1. But Air Cutter, Staggering 2, 30% chance of making all opponents flinch as well as confused. So, for this one, I decided to offer a couple of possibilities with this lucky skill. So, I'm assuming that you're gonna use her together with a flying type striker. So, if you are using Nate or Anniversary N, which relies on physical attacks, I think New Year Lan's sync move is also a physical attack. You might want to give her Defense Crush too to help lower the defenses of the opponents. As you continue to use Air Cutter, you have a 30% chance of lowering everyone else's defense or everyone's defense stats so that you will land your attacks with Anniversary Steven, Nate, Lysander, Blue, New Year Lance, and whoever striker that I missed. Stronger damage for special attacks or for special damagers, special attackers. You have Mind Games 2 to have a 30% chance of lowering the opponent's special defense instead of defense stat. So Defense Crush 2 for defense, Mind Games 2 for special defense. Or make her the attacker, give her Critical Strike 2, or the usual super powered 3. It's your choice, but I think if I want to pair her up with Anniversary Steven, I will give her Defense Crush 2 because AoE debuff is awesome. And now, we go to her Sync Grid, which at 1 out of 5, there's no interesting stuff. But at 2 out of 5, you get another Air Cutter Gobsmack 2, which has another 30% chance of leaving the opponent confused when you use Air Cutter. So, Gobsmack 2 with her passive and another Gobsmack 2 with move level 2 out of 5, you have a 60% chance of confusing all opponents once you use Air Cutter. At 2 out of 5, you also get a move gauge refresh 9. So immediately after you use Air Cutter, you recover 1 move gauge, which is nice. I do not put anything below move gauge refresh 9 in these notable sync grid tiles, but move gauge refresh 9 is always awesome. Barrel roll, when you get hit by an attack and its flying zone, you get to reduce damage. Impervious, your stats cannot be lowered. Natural remedy, if you get hit by a status condition for the very first time, it will remove that status condition. Ready for takeoff, MP refresh 3. Again, ready for takeoff raises your special attack and critical hit rate and raises everyone's speed. So with another use of ready for takeoff, you get to raise your special attack and critical hit rate again and raise everyone's speed. And then Team Sharp Entry 1, I love this. You get to give everyone in your team at the start of the battle critical hit rate +1. Couple of sync pairs have this, and I always love it when I see Team Sharp Entry 1 because critical hits are important and good in every battle. Now, 3 out of 5, Air Cutter Disarm 9. Basically, if an opponent is confused, is flinching, or is trapped, you get to lower their attack stat and special attack stat. Again, if you have her 2 out of 5, you get Gobsmack 2 for Air Cutter. You have a 60% chance of making everyone confused. And if you check out the next one, Air Cutter Staggering 1 gives you an additional 20% chance of making everyone flinch. What does this mean, guys? You have a 50% chance of flinching everyone and a 60% chance of making everyone confused by using Anniversary Skyla. And if I were to compare Anniversary Skyla with Anniversary May, Anniversary Skyla makes me excited because I can use her in such a way that will be like debuff flinching non-stop. The opponent will not be able to attack me because I will be able to keep on attacking, and if the opponent recovers from flinching, I get to flinch them again and I get to confuse them, and every single time they're either confused or flinching, every single time I use Air Cutter, I get to lower their attack and special attack stat -1, and that's what makes me excited about her. We got Flying Wish MP Refresh 2 as usual. Every single MP Refresh for wishes is at 3 out of 5. We also get 2 sync move multipliers, Inertia and Interference Sync 5. Inertia, the higher her speed stat is, the stronger the sync move damage. Interference Sync 5, if the opponent is flinching or confused or trapped, you get to raise your sync move damage by around 50%. Now, Inertia, let me talk about this. You have no way of raising your speed stat unless you get or use her trainer move, unless you have another sync pair. So if you want to maximize her speed stat, you have to get Ready for Takeoff MP Refresh 3, use Ready for Takeoff at least 3 times in order to maximize her speed stat. So to maximize the damage of Inertia. Now, she also gets Mini Potion All MP Refresh 3 as well as a Master Healer 1. Kind of, this move is the second sync pair with Mini Potion All. The first sync pair is Classic Red or just Red. And then Soften Up 1, critical hits land more easily when the user attacks with a sync move. Now again, refresher, your critical hit rate automatically, or rather indirectly, goes down -1 if you use a sync move. So if your critical hit rate is at +3, that's a 100% chance. +1 is 50%. +2 is 80%. +3 is 100%. If you use a sync move, it automatically or indirectly -1. So at max critical hit rate, you have an 80% chance of landing a critical hit on the opponent. With Soften Up 1, you ignore that -1. You always have, you know, if it's +2, it's always +2. If it's +3, it's always +3. So you get to land critical hits, sync moves on the opponent with Soften Up 1. And then 2 sync nuke tiles, and that's that. In fact, as I said earlier, if I were to compare her with Anniversary May, I'd rather pick Anniversary Skyla because number 1, Flying Wish. It's a new thing. You're powering up sync pairs. You're powering up your flying types. Psychic Wish. You already have Psychic Terrain. What's there to get aside from the debuffs that you can inflict on the opponent using Mist Ball? What else do I want to say? Very fun to use, I guess. Air Cutter, Staggering 2, Gobsmack 2, and an additional Gobsmack 2, Air Cutter Disarm 9, and Air Cutter Staggering 1. In fact, if I were to use her, guys, if you were to ask me, I would build her. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the layout of the grid yet. But if I were to build her right now, I'm getting Air Cutter Gobsmack 2, I'm getting Air Cutter Disarm 9, I'm getting Air Cutter Staggering 1. And Flying Wish MP Refresh 2 is optional. I'm not getting Soften Up 1, probably getting a Mini Potion All MP Refresh 3 if it is accessible to me. I'm not getting the Sync Nuke tiles. She's not gonna be the one to use a Sync move on. It's gonna be my striker, my flying type striker. And I will just be using Air Cutter non-stop, making the opponent flinch, confuse, flinch, confuse, flinch, confuse, flinch, confuse, flinch, confuse. It's gonna be a fun battle. At least that's what I'm visualizing how I would use Anniversary Skyla. So if you were to ask me right now, pick her instead of Anniversary May, but you do you. Let's move on to the last sync pair, which is Anniversary Raihan. And if you don't know, this is a Raihan cap, which I got from the Pokemon Center. Let the winds blow! Stream forward! Sandstorm! I like this image the best compared to the previous two. This one is festive, this one is beautiful looking. And if you see this, congratulate yourselves, you got Anniversary Raihan, which has some weird moves. Weird moves, guys. Twister, 20% chance of hitting, or rather 20% chance of making the opponents flinch. It hits everyone. Fire Spin traps the opponent. Sandstorm creates a sandstorm. And if you notice, I mean, Twister and Fire Spin don't exactly do a lot of damage. I guess Air Cutter earlier does not do a lot of damage as well, but I'm kind of used to Raihan dealing massive damage, and just seeing Raihan with Twister and Fire Spin, like some of the weakest moves in the game, it's quite curious and interesting. So, Can Be Tamed is his trainer move. Raises his special attack +4. Raises his critical hit rate +2. And if there is a weather condition, that means if it's sunny or rainy or hailing or sandstorming, you get to give a super effective up next to all allied sync pairs. Now that's a good thing. That's a good thing, and I think I forgot to put this in my list of multipliers. In fact, give me a sec, I'll do it right now. Okay, fixed! So guys, Can Be Tamed gives you a super effective up next for all allied sync pairs when there is a weather condition. And I like that. It applies the super effective up next. I think that powers up your move by 50% if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And this guy also has a Dynamax form. Which is Dynamax moves, which you have Max Wormwind, lowers the attack of all opposing sync pairs by 2, but this only hits one target, mind you. We have Max Flare, which, if you use this, makes the weather sunny, and Max Guard applies the Damage Guard next effect to an ally. You can Max Guard, rather Damage Guard next effect protects anyone from damage, 0 damage from normal attacks, and 50% damage from sync moves. So this will save, if you use this properly, it can save you from losing a battle. And then Max Wormwind lowers the opponent's, lowers everyone's attack stat. Max Flare makes the weather sunny. And again, you can probably, if you want to, either work on a sandstorm build or work on a solar build here. You can go for sandstorm for sand and max flare for sun. And then his sync move, Dragon Spirit, or rather Desert Spirit Dragon Beam. If there's a weather condition, again, it's sunny, hailing, rainy, sandstorming, etc., etc., you will power up your sync move. Passive skill is fun. We got weather buff. If there's a weather condition, not only are you raising your defense, special defense, which is similar to, you know, Hail and Hearty for whatchamacallit, for Palentine's Bay, and I think something else for Ingo. This one, weather buff, raises your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed by 30% when it has a weather condition. All stats, except for critical hit rate and accuracy and evasiveness, all attack, defense, special defense, and speed stat are raised by 30% when weather conditions are in effect. Now, this guy is pretty fast, 376 speed. With a weather condition, it goes up to, I'm guessing, 400 and something like that. So the attack stat is going also to go very high and stuff. So that's a very good thing. You want to always have weather conditions with Raihan. Atmospheric acceleration 2 quickly charges your move gauge when there's a weather condition. And again, speed stat is already very high. With a increased move gauge speed, it's gonna be even higher. Then team strengthening status 9. When you use a status move, which is Sandstorm, by the way, if you use a Sandstorm, you get to give everyone physical moves up next and special moves up next effect. Now these effects raise both your physical attack by 40% and your special attack by 40%. So depending on what move you do, its power is going to be increased by 40%. So that's a good thing, and you can do this twice. Use Sandstorm 2 times. You can raise everyone's physical attack and special attack by 80% or 2 times of 40%. And this does not apply to sync moves, by the way, just normal attacks. So for a sync pair such as this, I'd give him Weathered Warrior or Critical Strike 2, something like that. But Weathered Warrior might be good because he relies way too much on weather. Way too much that I would rather give him Weathered Warrior 3 as a passive skill, which you can get this from Deluxe Lucky Cookies, guys. So, for his sync grid, at 1 out of 5, you get Sand Shelter, prevents damage from a sandstorm. 2 out of 5, you get a 40% chance of restoring Can't Be Tamed, which again raises your special attack by 4, maximizes your critical hit rate if you get an MP refresh, and applies super effective up next to everyone when there is a weather condition, which is awesome with an MP refresh. Mind Boggler 9. If the opponent is trapped with Fire Spin or flinching with Twister, you get to lower the opponent's special defense stat against it. So imagine everyone is trapped and you use Twister. You get to lower everyone's special defense. And I guess this is the way to go if you're pairing him up with Anniversary May. Again, as I was saying earlier with Anniversary May, there's no way to lower the opponent's special defense on her own. This is one way to go, guys. Poke Trap 3 increases trap damage from Fire Spin. Sandstorm MP Refresh 3, 40% chance of restoring Sandstorm. It's available at 2 out of 5, which is good. Because if I'm not mistaken, Ingo gets Sandstorm MP Refresh at 3 out of 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Acerola, I think, gets the MP refresh at 1 out of 5. Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Sandstorm Slippery Sidekicks. If you use Sandstorm, everyone's evasiveness goes up +1. Sharp Entry raises your critical hit rate +1 at the start of the battle. Team Pinpoint Entry raises everyone's accuracy +1 at the start of the battle. And Twister Aggravation 2 raises the chance of flinching the enemy. Now, I am not sure about this one. Aggravation, I think, increases the percentage by the number of aggravation. So I'm guessing this is 20%. I'm not sure if this is a multiplier like on a roll. On a roll is a multiplier, so it basically multiplies the chances. So if it's 50%, it becomes 100%. I think aggravation is not a multiplier but a percentage adder. So this is like plus 20% of flinching the opponent. But let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments for this one, because I'm not totally aware of this. But you have a 20% chance of making the opponent flinch with Twister, and you get an additional 20%. Or is this 30%? Aggravation 2. Basically, you're able to make the opponent flinch with a much higher chance. So imagine using Raihan and Anniversary Skyla together. Anniversary Skyla again earlier, 50% chance of making the opponent flinch plus confusing them. This one Twister, I'm not sure, 40%, 60%, or 50% chance of making the opponent flinch as well. And if the opponent is flinch here and you use Twister, get Mind Boggler 9, lowers the opponent's special defense. And with Skyla, you get to lower the opponent's attack and special attack stat with her 3 out of 5, whatchamacallit, Disarm 9 for Air Cutter. So this is a purely debuffing team, guys. 3 out of 5 you get Interference Sync 5, which if the opponent is flinching or confused or trapped, you get to deal more or 50% more sync move damage. Max Team Sparks 9. If you use a max move, whether it's, you know, Max Wormwood or Max Flare or Max Guard, you get to give everyone special moves up next, which again powers up your special attacks by 40%. Sand Alert 5 is a good one. It's something missing with Ingo as well as the other Sand Setters. It extends the duration of Sandstorm. It's a very good one. It's a very good one. Solar Sync, after you use a sync move for the very first time, it will become Sunny. Now, I wish they gave Raihan Solarize instead. It will be much better. Every single time you use a sync move, you get to make it Sunny, or Dust Kicker. Every single time you use a sync move, it will become Sandstorming. I wish they gave this instead. So, if that's the idea, you get to choose whether you want Sun or you want Sandstorm. You either get Solarize / Solar Sync or Dust Kicker. And every single time you use a sync move, you bring back the Sun or you bring back the Sandstorm. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Then Weather Sync up to 5. If there's a weather condition, it powers your sync move by another 50%. Then there are multipliers or Dynamax move Nook tiles, which power up your Max Flare as well as Max Wormwind. And then 2 Sync Nuke tiles to power up his sync move. Now, Raihan, does he make me excited? I guess finally we get to extend Sandstorm. That's a good thing. Sand Alert 5 is a very good thing. I love how he's kind of like a better version of a flincher build for whatchamacallit, for Lycia. As you might know, Lycia also has Twister. In fact, let me just check Lycia. If Lycia has Aggravation 1 or Aggravation 2, because I'm really curious right now. Let me check, guys. Lycia, come on, hurry up, phone. Lycia. Sync Pairs, Sync-Grid, Dragon, Lycia. Lycia's passive skills does not have anything. Her aggravation 1 for Lycia, guys. This one is aggravation 2. If Lycia is already a good flincher with Twister, Raihan is double the better flincher compared to Lycia. So yeah, use Twister, you flinch the opponent. You have Skyla, you flinch the opponent. This is a Sandstorm user or a Sun user, but you can only bring in Sun like 2 times maximum, max flare, then Solar Sync. Or Sandstorm, hope for that MP refresh. And Sandstorm is gonna be extended with Sand Alert 5. He gets quite a couple of sync move multipliers with Interference Sync 5, Weather Sync of 5, Desert Spirit Dragon Beam, as well as Can't Be Tamed if you're able to get the super effective up next. It's also very helpful that you're able to give super effective up next effect to all allied sync pairs. The one to give super effective up next right now is Red. You and me can give a super effective up next to one sync pair. This one, use Can't Be Tamed, you give everyone in your team super effective up next. And just remember that it has to be sandstorming at least, or at least there has to be a weather condition. And keep in mind as well that once you use Sandstorm, Team Strengthening Status 9 gives everyone a physical moves up next and a special moves up next. So that is awesome for Raihan. That's an awesome thing. I would not focus on attacks with I will not be reliant on his attack damage. I will be using him for flinching the opponent, for trapping, probably less trapping. Probably I will not use Fire Spin. Fire Spin optional, I guess. Confirmed, you know, trap damage, at least confirmed that I have an infliction on the opponent, I have an interference on the opponent. Trap damage rather than flinching, which is temporary. Trap is temporary, but it spans a longer time. Confusion also spans a longer time. So if I were to want to get Interference Sync 5, I would trap the opponent. But if I were not to use Raihan for my sync move, I will not bother using Fire Spin at all. I would just focus on Twister, 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 Twister. It's gonna be fun to use Raihan, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So, those are the 3 sync pairs we have. Again, we have Anniversary May, Anniversary Skyla, and Anniversary Raihan. All of them are tech sync pairs. And again, if you were to ask me to rate, okay, this is probably much harder than I thought. Or maybe not. If you were to ask me to rate the importance of scouting for these ones, my top pick out of the three only, guys, would be Skyla for Flying Zone. Give our, you know, flying type sync pairs finally that buff, because we don't have Flying Zone yet in the game. We have Sandstorm, but we finally get something to extend Sandstorm. And, you know, once you use that, you can just use Twister and make the opponent flinch and stuff. So Raihan is my second pick. Meanwhile, my last pick is Anniversary May, because honestly, she does not bring much to the world of Pokemon Masters. She just brings her outfit, her Latias who can Mega Evolve, and that's that. But that's just me, and you guys do you. And remember that we're not yet done. That's just my initial thoughts. Now, let's look a little bit deeper. Let's first compare their stats, guys. So over here, as you might see, the attack stat has been grayed out. None of them actually rely on their attack stats, even though Anniversary Skyla's attack stat is quite high. In fact, much higher than most of our other sync pairs that we have in the game right now. Anniversary May has the lowest HP and the lowest speed stat out of everyone. Other stats in the middle, we have Anniversary Skyla with the highest defense, special attack, special defense, and speed stat. And Anniversary Raihan with the highest HP stat. But remember Anniversary Raihan, when weather conditions are in effect, all his stats will be multiplied by 30% increase. So his defense stat, let me just compute over here, 162 times 1.3. His defense stat becomes 210 or 211. His special attack stat goes up to 336 times 1.3, 436. And his speed stat, 376 times 1.3, 488 when there is a weather condition, guys. So if there's a weather condition, Anniversary Raihan stat just jumps up way much stronger compared to the rest, except for Skyla, which probably has a slightly higher special attack stat still. But that's that, and stats are not everything. We now move on to the multipliers that they have, which if you see over here, Anniversary Skyla does not exactly have any attack move multipliers. Let me hide myself. There. Not really any attack move multipliers, but again, a very high chance of making the opponent flinch by using Air Cutter. Anniversary May added insult. Again, the lower the opponent's special attack and special defense is, the stronger the damage of Mist Ball. Again, there's no way to lower the opponent's special defense by Anniversary May on her own unless you give a lucky skill to her. So we also get Brain Teaser. Brain Teaser, the lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger attack is. Overpower, the lower the opponent's special attack is. Again, Brain Teaser will not work unless you get something. I forgot the multiplier, the lucky skill to lower the opponent's special defense. And added insult will not do full multipliers unless you're able to lower the opponent's special defense as well. Overpower, you can maximize this one. And a super effective up next with Super Sinker, if I'm not mistaken. Use your sync move for the very first time. You give yourself a super effective up next. And then with the sync move multipliers, the lower the opponent's special attack is, the stronger the sync move damage. This is excluding Psychic Terrain. So if you have Psychic Terrain, you get to power up your sync move already by Psychic Terrain multiplier damage, as well as, you know, your attack move multiplier also gets increased by Psychic Terrain. And then Devastation, the lower the opponent's special attack is, same as built-in, the stronger the sync move damage. Smarty Pants, the lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger the damage. And again, you have to do something to lower the opponent's special defense stat. And then a super effective up next effect if you use your sync move for the very first time. That's Anniversary May. Anniversary Skyla, you have a built-in multiplier for Flying Zone. And then don't forget that if there's a Flying Zone already, it will already power up your normal attacks as well as sync move automatically. So this is an additional multiplier. You get Inertia at 3 out of 5. You can only maximize your speed stat with Anniversary Skyla on her own once you got an MP refresh on her trainer move. And then Interference Sync 5, the opponent is flinching, trapped, confused. You get to power up your sync move damage. Anniversary Skyla can both confuse and flinch the opponent. Confuse 60% if you get that on her grid. Flinch 50%. Meanwhile, Anniversary Raihan, once you use Sandstorm, you get to give everyone a physical and special moves up next effect, which will power up your physical moves and special moves by 40%. And if it's Sandstorming, or rather, if there's a weather condition and you use his trainer move, you get to give everyone super effective up next as well, which applies to both physical attacks, or rather, applies to normal attacks as well as sync moves. So sync move multipliers, we got weather. If any weather condition, it's gonna be more powerful. Also, weather sync of 5 makes your sync move 50% more powerful at 3 out of 5 when there's a weather condition. If the opponent is flinching, trapped, confused, you get to deal 50% more damage with a sync move. Raihan can flinch and trap the opponent. Skyla can flinch and confuse the opponent. And then super effective up next, again, if you use his trainer move, which you can only use once unless you get an MP refresh. And if there's a weather condition, you get to give everyone super effective up next, which makes Anniversary Raihan quite good. But I'd prioritize Flying Zone over Raihan over Mei. But that's just me. And now, don't forget that we have these banners, guys. Now, let me just briefly talk about these sync pairs according to my memory. Fall Caitlyn, amazing tanker. Get X defense all, X special defense all. Trixie, and once you use her sync move, you get to recover everyone's HP using synchro healing, and you get to set up physical damage reduction and special damage reduction. If you have an infinite terrain, if field effects are permanent, very good sync pair to bring. She can also prevent you from getting hit by critical hits, I think at 2 or 3 out of 5. So if you have that, all the opponent's attacks done to you will be halved for the entire battle, unless the opponent uses defog. Summer Marnie, or rather Summer Gloria, amazing sync pair. Normally you have to snipe him out. You have to use her trainer move, then you use her attack, then you use her trainer move, then you use her attack, trainer move, attack, trainer move, attack, trainer move, sync move, because her trainer move guarantees you a critical hit and makes your attack super effective up next. But if you have another sync pair who can raise your critical hit damage, you can maximize this. You don't need to use her trainer move all the time and just focus on attacking the opponent. She gets critical speed every single time you land a critical hit. I think you raise your speed stat. There's always a chance of giving you a free move next if you land a critical hit with critical freebie. And Anniversary's Gloria is amazing, but there are too many water types in the game. In fact, we're going to talk about another water type, which is Anniversary, or rather Holiday Seabold, finally getting a 6-star EX form. Scald has a very high chance of making the opponent burned. We got Octazuka, which lowers the opponent's accuracy, or has a chance of lowering the opponent's accuracy. And you can lower accuracy -2 as well. I think you get Fortuitous 4 or Fortuitous something. So basically, after you attack the opponent, you have a chance of increasing one of your stats at random. And the higher his stats are, his multiplier is Rising Tide. The higher his stats are raised, the stronger his sync move is gonna be. And it's a water type attacker as well, and relies on burn. So make the opponent burn the opponent using Scald, then do damage. The higher his attack and his stats are, the stronger Anniversary or Holiday Seabold will be. Anniversary, or oh, here we go again. Holiday Skyla. Holiday Skyla is like, if you were to ask me, Holiday Skyla is a downgraded version of our Anniversary Skyla. This Holiday Skyla has a lot to do with interference and status conditions. So you have Tri Attack, which has a chance of making the opponent frozen, paralyzed, or burned. Her multipliers depend a lot on either burn or I'm not sure if it's foul fighting or something fighting, or you have to specifically focus on a status condition for that. And then she has Air Slash, which is an increased chance of making the target flinch, but not as good a chance as Anniversary Skyla that we have over here. She's also a flying type. Gift of Joy raises her stats and could raise everyone's stat at random as well. And then we have another flying type, New Year Lance. Not so good trainer move with recall damage, raises your attack and special attack stat. We have Bounce, quick move, you get to evade an attack, probably a chance to paralyze the opponent. We have Hyper Beam, Flying Shift, Flying type Hyper Beam. His sync move is a physical attack. He has Potion, but no Potion MP Refresh. And yeah, Flying type Striker. So you can 6-star EX him and hit everyone. And then there's Fall Hilbert, the one and only Dark type Striker that can be 6-star EX at the moment. Unfairly strong passive skills. If the opponent, or if anyone in any, if the opponent or you get killed, you raise your attack stat +1, your move gauge gets filled up +4, I think. Spur on 4, was that it? And then the lower the opponent's defense stat, insult to injury, stronger attack move damage. And then Haymaker, the stronger his attack stat is, the stronger the damage. So if you want a Dark type Striker to be able to hit everyone, Paul Hilbert is the way to go because he's the only Dark type Striker that can be 6-star EX in the game right now. Fall Morty, really downplayed sync pair. People look down on this sync pair. I love Paul Morty so much. I use him a lot. For stages that would require burning, or if I want to pair up with Leon, I often pair up with Paul Morty because he has Will-O-Wisp and Go Viral 9. Everyone gets burned. And once everyone is burned and once you use a sync move, every single attack of his becomes free attacks. Shadow Sneak, free quick attack, and if the opponent is burned, you get to refresh that MP and so on and so forth. He gets Overwhelm, I think, which means once you attack the opponent, you get to lower their attack stat -1. And if you get it on her sync grid, you can lower the attack stat of the opponent -2 instead of -1 instead. That's the gimmick that I love about Paul Morty, and I still use him very, very much until this day. Summer Marnie, very self-sufficient sync pair. You start with 3 bulk ups, use her trainer move Not Today. You get to raise your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, and critical hit rate to maximum. And then from there, you attack the opponent using, I forgot the signature move of Spirit Break or Crunch. And then you get a regen effect as well. So you're tanky enough, you're strong enough, you get to hit the opponent, you get to kill the opponent. And yeah, that's Summer Marnie. And then there's New Year Lily, a very reliable evasiveness raising of your team. Once you use her sync move, everyone gets a regen effect. You get Dar Hit All Plus. You get status condition defense with all lang sign. Alola lang sign. You get a move gauge refresh. You get Ridicure, a lot to do with evasiveness stats. This is what I feel that Faulkner lacked. If you pair Faulkner up with New Year Lily, that's much better for me, but then you're lacking a defensive support sync pair. Meanwhile, over here we got Cygnus with Leon, which is the only sync pair that if you use Dynamax Cannon has a 50% chance of lowering all stats of the opponent. 7 stats. Wait, I think there's 8 stats in total. Attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, and evasiveness. 7 stats, excluding critical hit rate. 50% chance. He also has a Dynamax move, Dynamax Cannon, and then after you use Dynamax move, you get a Damage Guard next effect. You get X Speed Plus. Speed up, the higher your speed is, you get ramming speed. You get his trainer move, which will give you a super effective up next, and then you get to lower your sync move countdown. And then yeah, that's SS Leon, the first Dynamax sync pair in the game. We got Leer, Hyperspace Hole, Furious Brain. I think the higher your special attack is, the stronger the damage. He has a sync move multiplier. If the opponent does not have any raise stats, stronger damage. I think he also gets Rising Tide. The higher his stats are, stronger the damage. He can snatch the opponent's buffs with Snatch and then raise his own stats. But the best thing I like about him is that once he uses trainer move, everyone gets a regen effect. That's good for a tech sync pair. And then Leer is also famous for being very, very quick with the move gauge. Start of the battle, you get Head Start 2, I think. Lowers your sync move countdown -2 immediately. After you use a sync move, Adrenaline 2 lowers your sync move -2 as well. And some other sync move lowering parts of his grid. Cynthia. Unfortunately, not that great with the sync move multiplier, but attack moves, Earthquake, very strong, especially if you have Sandstorm on. So, ground type striker, we need those. We only have Leon, we only have Cynthia, we only have Maxi for reliable ground type strikers. So, just being a ground type striker with an AoE attack is good enough. Champion Iris. AoE, Breaking Swipe, attack -2 for everyone. AoE, Snarl, special attack -2 for everyone. Give her Defense Crush 2 for a lucky skill. Lowers the defense stat -2 because of her double drop passive skill. And her Dragon Rush has a chance of flinching the opponent. Trainer move gets to raise her critical hit rate +1 and attack stat +1. I forgot if it lowers the sync move. I don't think it lowers the sync move countdown, but I think it speeds up the move gauge. But that's that. If you do not have a support sync pair with her, I suggest help raise your critical hit rate. But that aside, even without a critical hit rate buff, she can one-shot the opponent. That's how good Champion Iris is. One of the best debuffers in the game. And then N. Very good electric type striker. Probably overshadowed by New Year Volkner after he arrived. The problem with N is that he can give himself a super effective up next, but only before you use your first sync move. And the sad thing about him is that you cannot raise his critical hit rate on his own. So you have to have someone else to raise your critical hit rate. And once you do that, pair him up with Volkner or Electric Terrain, and then give yourself a super effective up next. You might be able to one-shot all the opponents using his first sync move. That's N. But now we got Volkner, and Volkner super duper 9 and stuff. Very, very strong sync pair. One good thing about N as well is that it ignores the opponent's passive skills because of his passive skill, Piercing Blows. So it ignores the opponent's passive skills, it ignores the opponent's endure status, and yeah, that's basically N. And now we go to Steven, which is hidden from sight. Steven, one of the best steel sync pairs. In fact, probably, I don't know if it's still my favorite steel type sync pair over here, but very, very tanky in the sense that once he Mega Evolves, once you use his trainer move, you get an Endure effect. Once you use a sync move, you get to recover HP with Recuperation. And gets to raise his critical hit rate by his own using Eagle Eye 9 on Bullet Punch after he Mega Evolves. Iron Head Aggravation can also make the opponent flinch. And overall, tanky, strong, steel type sync pair. And Lance. I would say one of the best 6-star EX outfits. With Dragon Zone brought in by Lance, or brought in by Lucas, he becomes one of the strongest, if not the strongest, dragon type physical DPS attackers in the game with Hyper Beam. Unfortunately, horrible trainer move. He cannot raise any of his stats on his own. He has a potion. He has, I forgot what's the other attack, but Hyper Beam is the way to go using Lance, and then his trainer move just fills up your move gauge +6. You receive recall damage. That's about it. You do not raise your stats. So unless you have a sync pair that can help raise Lance's stats, you have to deal with the low stats. So that's my analysis or my discussion for all of these sync pairs. Again, there might be more for the first 4 banners, but these 2 are confirmed to be just those sync pairs. If you are missing any of the types that you need, probably just go for these. Again, first 4 are paid banners. You need to use paid gems for that. And as you might know, there's a new bundle right now that we have, and it's pretty much worth it if you're willing to spend for that amount of money. 20 something US dollars for each. Around $50 US for both. You get around 31,500 if I'm not mistaken paid gems, which is a steal if you're willing to pay. But if not, these 2 are free. And speaking of free, let's discuss this banner. This banner is called the N, Steven, and Lance Charming Pokefair Scout. This is basically like a Master Fair, guys. Every single time you scout, you get to receive a present. And I guess if you have spare gems and you just want it, either you already have all of them, but the presents are pretty much worth it, guys. Use 15,000 paid gems, grab all those presents, like 5 multi-pools. You have a chance of getting, I think, 1.5% chance of getting each one of them. Plus, this is a Pokefair Scout. So this has a 10% chance of giving you a 5-star sync pair. 5 multi-pools, you get 20 5-star power-ups. 20. That's enough, or that's exactly enough to make any sync pair 6-star EX. Plus your 50 champion spirits. So this is a non-paid banner. You can go for this banner and scout 5 times to get 20 5-star power-ups if you want to. And yeah, that's basically it. I would be considering scouting because I think I have Steven. I think I have him at, was it 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5? I have N, I think 3 out of 5. I have Lance, I think 4 out of 5. So definitely gonna consider, plus it's a Pokefair Scout. So that's the Charming banner, guys. So if you're needing some 5-star power-ups, this is probably the way to go. Or, just do a couple of multi-pools here to get those 5-star power-ups. But that's that. And with that said, we have reached this point. Again, we're done discussing all the sync pairs. Again, Anniversary May, February 28, it's coming soon. Anniversary Skyla, March 2. Anniversary Raihan, March 4. Out of everyone, I'm most excited for... Well, to be completely honest, I'm more excited about Raihan than Skyla. But in terms of practical use, Skyla is the top, followed by Raihan, followed by May. Because Psychic Terrain is really accessible with Bianca. And yeah, she can debuff the opponent, but that's about it. And free move gauge, or rather free attack if it's Psychic Terrain. And you can pair her up with Bianca as well, set up Psychic Terrain, and all her moves will be free. So that's that. What do you guys think? Should you scout for these sync pairs? Again, this is only the first half of March, guys. This is only the first half of March, including these sync pairs over here. Only the first half of March. we are almost guaranteed. Like, it's either 100%, probably 101% chance of getting a Master Fair. And if you're not aware, there's an event coming up. It's a special event, basically sycamore hunting for cells. When you hear about cells, it's definitely ZYGARDE. And again, there are rumors of SERENA and ZYGARDE, but rumors are rumors until there's a confirmation. Absol-utely does not know anything about it too. So, is it worth it to scout for these sync pairs? My opinion, skip May, get Skyla. Up to you for Raihan. But that's my initial analysis. I'm going to make an in-depth analysis for each one as well. So stay tuned for my scout or skip video for each one, starting with Anniversary May coming up in a couple of days before the anniversary. So I will be talking more in depth, comparing her with other sync pairs in terms of damage output and so on and so forth. So if you're curious and excited, don't forget to hit the sub button. Keep notifications all down below. And if you want to support my efforts making these videos and talking non-stop with you guys, you can become a member of my channel like my awesome members up there, 14 of you guys right now. Thank you Shadowphil, thank you Marcella, thank you Aryan, thank you Blaze, thank you Alcin, thank you John9019, thank you Cindy the Cinderace Gamer, thank you Roy Mustango, thank you Lucamidi, thank you Jeremy, thank you Sasri Umbreon, thank you Blue Rose 48, thank you ewiz2950, welcome, thank you Lance Nice, and thank you Agent 10's Platoon. Join them, click on the join button. You can become a member of my channel for as low as $1 a month and have your names up there in my videos and on the last part of the video as well. So with that said, you know, that's it. As I would like to end all my videos, choose your faves. Listen to what I have to say, but at the same time, do your thing. If you want to scout for May, go ahead. If you want to scout for Raihan, go ahead. If you want to scout for Skyla, go ahead. No one's stopping you, except your gems. Your limited gems, unless you're going to buy the gems and stuff. And if you're to ask me, as usual, I'm scouting everyone 3 out of 5. So if you want, and you know, if you want to see them in action, you can also hang out, wait for me to pull on them. I will be pulling live, and if you want to see them in action, yes, I'll be doing that. And I'll be doing feature videos. I'm probably gonna 6-star EX all of them, even though I'm not exactly probably gonna be using their sync moves as well. But for the outfits and stuff. And so yeah, choose your faves over the meta, but keep in mind that maybe Master Fair is coming. Maybe Leon is rerunning. Maybe. All we can say right now is maybe. But with that said, thank you for watching this video. It's taken a lot of time to do, and I will probably head to bed after this because I just slept for like 2 hours. And for the past 5 days, I've been sleeping very badly because I've been waiting for the data mine. My mind is in work mode. So I highly appreciate, very much appreciate your thumbs ups and supports and comments down below, because they keep me going. You guys keep me going. Thank you. I'm done. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist team Skull Grunt. And I will see you in the next video. Subscribe to Atamasas. Have a Cinderace cry. Right.